Okay, this is not a stream, but I just have so much to say. And I've been thinking about this stuff. I've been thinking about it. And you know what? I'm going to just start putting my thoughts on YouTube. Some of them, not all of them. But you know what? I made a post on Facebook. It was concerning women, and I've actually been getting a lot of responses or not complaints, really, just comments about it. What I wrote was when the NFL becomes the NFL, what kind of women? Hold on a second. I think I got something going on here that I don't want going on. I don't want this ad going, so I gotta kill it. Okay, there you go. I'm sorry. But when the NFL becomes the NFL, what kind of woman do you think will qualify or want to qualify to become a National Female Football League player? You're not going to have to play men. You're just going to have to play other women. I see a lot of, mannish looking women or whatever you want to call them, volunteering to play, only to realize after they, only playing women, not men, they run into each other as hard as men be doing, they realize that, damn, I can't take this kind of punishment, and, I see them quitting. But now, when I made this post, I had never heard of the Lingerie League. But after making the post, a whole bunch of people, start responding, and they have all this information about the Lingerie League and how the Lingerie League are, playing football. So I clicked on the little clip, and I guess this is a version of football, American style, for women. Now, I also made a comment, or also commented on the post that was made in reference to this. And this comment was saying, how come women don't invent a sport for them, invented by women for women? Now, this statement is what actually prompted me to make the first statement. I said all of this because I have questions. My question is, do you, as women, think this lingerie league represents anything other than women as sex objects? The reason I asked that question is because I thought women protested against that type of shit years ago, many years ago. Yet, you see women making themselves sex objects, and for who? Who are they making them sex objects for? Is it for me to watch? Is it for me to ogle? Because I've never seen a football game where, the men were showing that stuff as the women doing the lingerie league. So, now, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on the lingerie league. I mean, whatever. That's whatever they do. That's their thing. I'm not hating on the lingerie league. But what I am hating on is women who accept the way women portray themselves today. And my problem with that is the way they portray themselves publicly is not the way we are supposed to, see them. This is weird. They make themselves look this way, but we don't supposed to, I don't know, I guess we don't supposed to accept it. Men, I'm talking about, are not supposed to accept it, or we're just not supposed to see their titties hanging out or their pussy lips showing or whatever they showing right inside their booty hole. We're not supposed to see that, I guess. So, I guess I'm hating on that. Over all this time, women have come to their own realization that they are worth so much more than that. They're worth so much more than what men had valued them at. Yet, when women, now this is women, when women get the opportunity to show that, it's true, they have this great value, they take their clothes off. I don't understand that. They want to be worth so much more than being a sex object, but they take their clothes off at every instance they can. I don't really understand that, and this is like a problem for me because I've recently seen on Facebook where women believe they can be raped without a man ever laying a hand on them. Okay, if you believe it, you believe it. But what about the man believing that you invited getting raped? That's impossible. I know. That's impossible. But it is not impossible for you to look like a sex object with all your fucking clothes off, running around shaking your ass, bouncing your titties, pouting your lips, doing everything you possibly can to make a motherfucker think about getting his dick sucked. But we ain't supposed to be thinking that. Okay, so I'm just really, really confused is what I'm really leading to. I'm leading to the confusion that I'm experiencing by witnessing this stuff. In my opinion, this is so very confusing, and the main reason why you, as women, when you do meet a man that you like, he turns out to be a fraud in so many ways that you can't even deal with him. Have you ever thought he's a fraud because he's trying to be politically correct and viewing you as a woman? And all the shit he's telling you is fake because you don't believe that shit? Because you don't even believe it? Because if you did believe it, you would quit taking your clothes off at every chance you got. You would quit becoming any kind of sex object you possibly can because some other bitch on reality TV, Real Housewives or whatever, then showed you that she could be a bitch. That bitch getting paid to be like that. You trying to find a man. Yet still, you don't want a man to look at you like who you acting like. Pretty is what pretty does. Women are what women do. So, I'm pleading with the women, with you women of today, I'm pleading with you to learn how to love yourselves. Because I believe that you completely hate your goddamn self. I believe there's nothing about you you like. Nothing. Initially, people wore wigs for whatever reason. So you didn't like your hair, it's not acceptable any longer, so you go get a wig. Oh, no, you're not going to stop there. You do not stop there. Your nose and your eyes are not acceptable. Fuck, you won't even stop there. Now your body and your teeth and your eye color it's all fake. And you are the ones who run around saying there are no real men. This is really funny to me. I just think you ought to think about what is real. If the fact that you do not want to be viewed as sex objects is false, then you need to clarify this to the public at large, and you need to accept that we gonna see sex objects when you got ass showing out, your pussy lips showing, you got all the things sexual, everything, the way you stand, the way you walk, everything is sexual. We're gonna see you sexual. Now we just we can't help it. Men today, we don't intentionally look at women as sex objects unless their pussy is or titties or skin is showing to an extent that what else could you look at? Most men I know, they're not afraid of women who are experienced in being a woman. And this woman, does not have to resort to sexual innuendos to be noticed. Although, walking around with your nipples showing and the crack of your vagina showing is not really an innuendo. It's actually an outright invitation. And when men accept that invite, you think he's like crass or in some way out of line. That brings me to my real question to women of today. What is it that you want I mean, what the fuck do you want? Is it to be do you remember to be or not to be? That should be to be sex objects or not to be sex objects. That is the question. Somebody answer that for me. Until the next time, Rosebud Bitter Dose have something to talk about. Post it, I will. My Ustream, matter of fact, is jumping off tonight. Ustream.tv/channel/RTRB. 8 o'clock tonight, Pacific Standard Time. Check my site out, rosebudbitterdose.net. See all my books. I'm a hell of a writer. If I don't like me, nobody will. So I love me. I've written 20 books. I got a bunch of stuff going on for you guys to check out. Check out my site, rosebudbitterdose.net. And if you don't have time to go to the site, make time to come to the stream. Because after you kick it with me, you're going to want to do a lot more than just kick it with me. Peace.